Genetic research suggests that humans could potentially live up to 144 years. Proper nutrition, exercise, and even parasites may help extend lifespan. During an archaeological dig, a parasitic organism was discovered in an ancient layer of earth, which appears capable of halting the aging process in its host. Dr. Haibara begins studying this organism further, and soon Dr. Futaba, the head of the large Hominis research laboratory, approaches him. Futaba proposes experimenting on humans to see how the parasite takes hold in living subjects and makes it clear that Haibara cannot refuse. Some time passes, and the narrative shifts to a boarding school operated by the Hominis laboratory, where the brightest students in Japan, with IQs as high as 150, are being educated. Two friends, Hikari and Yuri, talk after class while delivering bedding, discussing their futures. Yuri asks Hikari whose DNA she would like to use to alter her genome. Yuri admits she wants to use the DNA of Maki, the most beautiful and intelligent student, but Hikari disagrees, not wanting to change her own DNA. The students have been raised knowing their purpose from childhood. It has been over 30 years since the discovery of the parasitic organism known as Soma. Through human experimentation, scientists discovered that Soma interacts with the host's mitochondria, altering cell properties, halting aging, and extending lifespan to 144 years. The parasite was cloned and only implanted into selected Japanese citizens, those in excellent physical condition and with high IQs. The students of Hominis boarding school, separated from their parents, were implanted with Soma and prepared for a life dedicated to serving their country. Hikari, however, is the only student who resists this destiny. She recalls stories her father told her about life beyond the walls of Hominis, where people are free to choose whom to love and what to do with their lives. She suggests to Yuri that they form an alliance against Soma. Intrigued by the idea of a free life, Yuri agrees. Later that night, Yuri attempts to sneak into the boys' dormitory to deliver a love letter to Maki. However, the school's security catches her, and the letter ends up with a teacher. The next day, Yuri is missing from class, and the teacher scolds the students, calling Yuri's actions foolish. Maki laughs at this, which infuriates Hikari, but her teacher quickly calms her. After class, Hikari visits Yuri in the infirmary. Yuri explains that she is being forced to apologize daily and take numerous pills. She wonders if Maki despises her because of what happened. Not wanting to hurt her friend, Hikari lies and assures Yuri that Maki is concerned about her. Yuri then asks Hikari if she's reconsidering their plan to rebel against Soma. Yuri confides in Hikari that she feels as though she's no longer living her own life. Hikari embraces her and reassures her that they can still escape. A few days later, Yuri returns to class, but when Hikari excitedly rushes to greet her, Yuri ignores her, standing in the cafeteria line with the other students, her face emotionless. Hikari desperately tries to reach her, asking about their alliance, but Yuri pretends not to understand and walks away. It dawns on Hikari that her friend has been brainwashed, leaving her alone in the fight against Hominis. Determined, Hikari steals bedding and fashions a rope from torn pieces of cloth. She ties one end to a pipe and the other to the parasite Soma attached to her back. Mustering her courage, she leaps off a chair, using the rope to forcibly rip the parasite from her body, screaming in agony. Later, Mr. Futaba informs Dr. Haibara about what happened. For the first time in 30 years of human experimentation, a host has attempted to remove the ancient parasite. Troubled by this event, Futaba urges Dr. Haibara to intervene and change Hikari's mind about Soma quickly. Hikari is sent to a hospital room where she is forced to take medication. Remembering how the drugs affected Yuri, she pretends to swallow the pills. At her first session with Dr. Haibara, he tries to befriend her, assuring her that he wants to help heal her mind. Hikari notices her teacher and Mr. Futaba watching closely and refuses to speak. Haibara suggests they continue another time. Dr. Haibara then requests permission from Mr. Futaba to have a private session with Hikari in her room, hoping she will relax and open up. Futaba, only concerned that Hikari agrees to accept Soma again, reluctantly agrees. In their next conversation, Hikari finally speaks. Dr. Haibara tells her she will soon recover and rejoin her friends, but Hikari quietly replies that she no longer has any friends. The doctor asks what she needs to feel better, and Hikari admits that she wants to see the world outside Hominis. Mr. Futaba, observing their conversation via video camera, grants Dr. Haibara permission to take Hikari outside the school grounds. After their walk, the doctor brings her to his home, where she asks him to read a story her father used to tell her before bed. As she listens, Hikari peacefully falls asleep on the doctor's shoulder. After covering her with a blanket, Haibara begins hurriedly packing canned food and water bottles into a travel bag. His preparations are cut short when Mr. Futaba arrives unexpectedly. He informs the doctor that he has come personally to take Hikari back, ensuring her safety. Futaba reveals his plan to implant the Soma parasite directly into Hikari's spinal cord, making it impossible for her to remove it again. Distraught, Dr. Haibara asks his superior when the procedure will take place. Mr. Futaba abruptly cuts off Dr. Haibara, reminding him that his duty is to make Hikari understand the full benefits of Soma, and curtly urges him to do his job. Their raised voices wake Hikari, who looks at them in fear, realizing she cannot escape her grim fate. The following day, Hikari lies in her room, awaiting the surgery to implant the parasite. Dr. Haibara enters, his face concealed behind a mask. He tells Hikari that while the world outside can be dangerous for someone unprepared like her, it's also wrong for anyone else to control her life. Then, revealing that he too has a Soma implanted in him, Haibara confesses that he doesn't want her to suffer the way he has. Determined to help her, the doctor hides Hikari in a dirty laundry cart and secretly smuggles her out of the boarding school. Haibara's friends are waiting outside to take her far from Hominis, ensuring her escape from the oppressive institution. In the film's final moments, we see Hikari's memories of the day Dr. Haibara had taken her outside the boarding school. They had gone to an amusement park, enjoying rides on the carousel and having fun. During that outing, Hikari had confessed to the doctor that she finally understood the freedom her father had once told her about. These memories inspired Hikari to escape the school she despised, craving that sense of freedom once more. That same walk also convinced Dr. Haibara to defy Hominis and help the girl break free from the corporation's grasp.